and you're going to love her. And I want you to give her a big round of applause. Kelly Levatino! Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to keep going to see how long they'd play. Try to confuse them every night.
We get paid by the note.
By the note, got it. Ooh. Small town girl living for Jesus. You know what, the first time I heard that song, I must have been hungry. Because what I had thought she was saying was, a small town girl living for Cheez-Its. That is what I heard, and it made sense, didn't it? Cheez-Its are good. Now, you Philip here misheard it a different way, didn't you? Small
town squirrel.
Squirrel, yeah, that was not it.
Crunching for Jesus, nuts for Jesus.
Something for Jesus,
like that,
yeah. It's not about squirrels or Cheez-Its, guys. It's an amazing song. Check out that video.
Yeah.
I'm Kelly Levatino. I came from Memphis, Tennessee earlier today. Anybody from Memphis? Yes, not a one. A one! Woo! I award you 10 points.
Thank you very much.
Write it down, because the person with the most points at the end of the night gets nothing. Okay? So keep track. Okay. Yeah, I'm from Memphis, so that means I like 3 things. Pork barbecue. Ding! 100 points for everybody who had that on the bingo card. Elvis Presley. Yes. Look at you knowing my joke. And there's a whole bunch of answers coming at me, and ain't none of them right. Glocks. Preferably stolen. No serial number. I'm just kidding. I don't have a gun. It's in the car. Yeah. That's where you keep your gun. Yeah. So I came from Memphis earlier today with my daughter and a friend back there, and it has been a lovely day so far in your town of Smyrna. We've been here before. We are across the way at the depot. Who says depot? Who says depot? All right, great. None of you. That's great, because it's not depot. My in-laws say depot. It's the home depot. It's the office depot. And I can't handle it. But that's another thing. We got to drive in today, which is good. Victoria mentioned that we do Christian women's conferences all over the country. So sometimes we have to fly. We fly a lot every year. Anybody flown recently? Whoop, whoop. Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Costs $1 million and takes 29 hours to get there, doesn't it? They put you in these little tiny seats. And I know they say they clean that air that recirculates, but I don't know. I always get off sick. Well, I was in the airport recently, and I had a thought. I think there's a big conspiracy theory going on between the FAA, the airports, and the airlines. Do you want to hear what it is? Yeah. All right, think about it. You get to the airport, you check your baggage, you get in the TSA line. What do they make you throw away? Your water. And depending on the airport, you might be in that line for an hour and a half, just getting slowly dehydrated. And it's part of their plan. So you take an hour and a half to get through that line. You finally get through, and then once you're through, what do they try to sell you on the other side? Water. And how much is it? $400. You are right. And I refuse to pay that. That's just not how I was raised. My parents raised me with good standards. We do not blow $12 on a bottle of water. We will die of thirst before we do that, out of principle. So then I just go to my gate. That's how I go through the airport. If you ever see somebody locking like that through the airport, it's me. And when I get to my gate, I gotta wait because how early are you supposed to be there? 2 hours. So I sit down, beverage lists. My mouth is starting to dry out. And the minutes they pass, the hours they pass, and then it's time to board. And boy, isn't that a fun process. They have 8 groups that are grouped that way for no discernible intentions. You've got families traveling with infants. You've got the military. You've got people needing extra time. You've got people with 3 legs. You've got people from Mars. Like, they divide them into all these categories. I don't know how or why. I'm inevitably in the last one every time. And they line you up in the jetway, the hottest corridor of the airport by far every time. I don't know how they do it. Doesn't matter. It could be dead of winter. It's the hottest one. And you're standing there behind these people. And I think they've never learned how to walk. They're just like, and I'm dying of thirst, and 45 minutes later, they get us all on the airplane. The person who's never been outside has finally figured out that their bag is not gonna fit up there. They need assistance. And they get assistance, and then we sit down and we take off, and it takes 30 minutes to reach your cruising altitude. But then, what do you get? A beverage. The beverage cart is my favorite part of any flight, except if your flight is too short, they gyp you, and they don't give you a beverage. Can you believe that? You paid $400,000 for your ticket. They won't even give you a can of Coke. It's ridiculous. It's one of my pet peeves, if you can't tell. I love the beverage cart. I'm sitting in my seat, and you don't know if it's gonna come from in front of you or behind you. You gotta keep your head on a swivel because you don't know which way the beverage cart is coming from, but it's coming. And you can hear it. You gotta tuck your elbows in. That's how you lose an elbow. Okay, pro tip. The beverage cart finally gets to you, and you have not had a beverage for approximately 10 hours. Out of principle. And you're gonna show them. And before you keel over, they get to you and they offer you a beverage. And there is one beverage that I get every single time I fly. And I only get it when I fly. I don't know why. They sell it at the Kroger's. I've seen it. But something in me, mental block, that's my flying drink. If I'm not at 30,000 feet, I don't get it. I don't know. It feels like a little reward to me. I like it. I'm a simple person. Can anybody guess what that beverage is? Man, that's a great guess, but no, you're all wrong. Negative 50 points. Scratch them out. No, it is the cran apple juice. Ah, yes, you've had it, I hear, rather. Yes. Now, to be fair, it only says cranberry on the can. Don't be confused. If you look at the ingredients, there's also apple juice in it. I feel I need to explain that. So you ask for the cranberry juice, and you're so thirsty. You can barely get the words out. And please give me cranberry juice. And I get so excited. I don't know why, because the cup. And what do they put in the cup first? Ice. And how big is each ice cube? So you've got 4 chunks of ice in this little tiny cup. And then they pour approximately 2 tablespoons of your favorite beverage. And they hand you that cup. Expect you to be so happy about it. And you know what? You are. Because you have not had anything to drink since 1984. You're just thankful. You are thanking them at this point. It's ridiculous. Pro tip. If you ask for the cranberry, they'll usually give you the whole can. Because nobody else ever asks for that. So do that. Forgo the popular Dr. Pepper. They're not giving you the whole can of the Dr. Pepper. It ain't worth it. You need the cranberry juice every time you fly. Okay? Now about the Krogers. They do sell it at the Krogers, but you can't buy it there. It is only your airplane drink. From now on, you must book a flight. I did actually go to the Krogers yesterday. Yes, I realize I'm calling it the Krogers. That's for comedic effect. I'm not dumb, okay? I just want everybody to know that I know it's Kroger, okay? So I went to the Krogers, and for the first time in the history of my using the self-checkout, I did not have to see cashier. Yes! Feels so good! Because what usually happens, you get up there, they want you to use the self-checkout, which is why they have none of their 48 other lanes open. They want you to go to the self-checkout and work for them, but that's a whole nother issue. I'm not going to get political. And you get about 3 items into the whole process. Scan your item, beep, put it in the bag. Wait, see if there's an issue. Hold your breath. Okay, get your next one, beep, put it in the bag. Get your Rocky Road ice cream, beep, put it in the bag, and then she says it. Please scan all items before placing in bag. And you know, that first time, it's okay. It's okay. It's not going to ruin my day. She does it to me once, it's fine. I'm a Christian. I cannot hit a machine. It will hurt my hand. So then I get my Tombstone pizza because I'm a health nut. Beep. Put it in the bag, and she says it again. Please scan all items before placing in bag. And I don't know. It's that second time that gets me. My blood starts to boil after the second time. And I think I've figured out why. It's her tone. She sounds like a passive-aggressive mother trying to put a positive spin on the fact that she is bossing around her adult child. I'm 41 years old. I don't need to be told what to do. But then I go ahead and go get my Pop-Tarts, frosted cherry. That is the best flavor. Trust me. Beep, put it in the bag. Then what does she do? Help is on the way. And she's so cheery about it. And at this point, I totally forget I'm a Christian, and I start yelling at this machine. And I say, I don't need help. You need help, lady. She doesn't respond. And you know who else doesn't respond? The help that is not on the way. You'll stand there a good 10 minutes. For no reason. Nobody else is using the self-checkout. But Miss Thing's over here on her phone. Never looking up, because why would you look up? You know, if we put these people on commission, things would change, is all I'm gonna say. Finally, she sees that somebody needs help. She enters her 23-digit employee ID. And then what does she do? She X's out the screen that said I needed help. She goes back over to her podium until some other moron needs help. Did she look in my bag? No. Did she look at the screen? No. I could have stolen entire aisle number 5 and she would be none the wiser. Why do we have this person? Male or female, I shall say. They serve no purpose whatsoever. I feel like the computer cashier lady should get on to her. She's been on my case this entire shopping trip. Turn it around on this thing and say, did you check the bags? Please check the bags. This moron doesn't know how to properly scan her Cheetos. She doesn't do it. She does not do it. Any mamas in the house? Yeah. Anybody got little kids in their lives? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, look at you guys slowly participating in things. Thanks. Thank you. You know, I've only got a certain amount of time, so thank you for speeding that up. So, if you have a little one in your life, you know it is Vacation Bible School season. And it is the most wonderful season of all. I have teenagers now, but when they were little, I would sign them up for 3, 4 Vacation Bible Schools a summer. I didn't care. I wasn't even sorry. One week, they'd be at the Methodist church. The next week, we go into the Lutheran church. The third week was always Chinese Baptist church week. They have it. Sign them up. My oldest is back there. You may notice that she is blonde-haired and blue-eyed. And at the Chinese Baptist church, 5 years old, she had no idea what was happening. But you know what? Mommy got a break. And that is what matters. I'll have you also know that she knows Jesus. So it all worked out. Yep. Now on to serious matters. Yeah, you need to be scared over there. Whoever said, uh-oh. You don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. How could you? Toilet paper. That wasn't the punchline, ma'am? If you could just hold your laughter. I appreciate that enthusiasm over there, though. Loving it. You don't always get that every night. The quality of toilet paper. I want to talk about this. It really runs a gamut, doesn't it? Yeah, so on the one end, you've got the ultra luxurious, soft toilet paper that feels like you're wiping with kittens. So I've been told, okay? And on the other end over here, you have that half-ply see-through sandpaper. And I don't understand why there's such a difference. And I gotta tell you, the most disappointing toilet paper experience I have ever had occurred at a church. And you guys, I feel like that's a bad witness. We were visitors at this church, I'll have you know, and you think I'm coming back? I don't care how strong your coffee game is. If you got half ply in the stall, I don't think you know Jesus. We ain't doing it. Especially if your coffee game is strong, you know what I mean? Where'd that come from? Who did that? Stop. How did you even have... Oh, I know. He knows my set. Ha ha! That took me a minute. That's awesome. You rock. You're my new favorite. Philip, you're out. Justin. Yes. Woo! Well, now I don't know who I love more. Goodness gracious. Well, this is fun. Like, I could really start throwing this in the audience right now. I'm not going to do it. That's called a liability. Okay? Our insurance is not that great, so, I mean, it's wonderful. It's fully covered. Don't worry about it. Oh my gosh, where were we on the toilet paper? Are we kidding? So, I'm in church. And I'm sitting in the stall because I have literally just wiped with shards of glass. And I'm crying. And I think to myself, this is so not what Jesus would do. How do we expect people to believe us when we say Jesus loves you, but not enough to bring out the Charmin? There's a disconnect there that the church has got to get right. I don't think God's impressed with the toilet paper game. I don't think he wants to sit on the throne at some of these places, you know what I mean? It's a problem. But I have not lost all hope. Isaiah 42 says, God will bring light to the darkness, and he will make the rough places smooth. And I'm looking forward to that. That is going to be a great day. Charmin all the way in heaven. I actually really do not like when people take Bible verses out of context like I just did. But if it's going to be funny, I can't resist. We left Memphis this morning, and the girls asked me, how long do you think it's going to take you to get here? I said, well, you know, the GPS says 3 hours and 21 minutes. But I think I can beat it. Because I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I know that's what Paul meant. You see, Paul didn't have a car, so that's not what he meant. Yeah, that was out of context. Yeah, so it turns out, though, that it takes longer than that. It actually takes 3 hours and 42 minutes. Because the officer did not see things my way. His verse is, let all people be subject to the governing authorities. And I had forgotten that one. Now, I'm glad I get to bring my kids along. My other daughter was at our show last night out in the Memphis area, and this first one was traveling through on her way home from Lee University, where she was at a church camp. So I snagged her at the rest stop like a shady situation. And I drive a white Honda Pilot, which looks a little bit like a kidnapper van, but it's fine. It's okay. It's all right. It's all on the up and up. She's really mine, and it's the one that looks like me, so it's provable. I like being a mom, but I just have to confess, there is one thing I do not do well. And I have apologized to my children and my husband. I hate to cook. Anybody else? Yes! I love when we can come together and encourage one another, that we are not alone. And we don't have to cook, guys. Drive through. Okay? Just drive through. It's what they were invented for. I did try to cook early on in our marriage. I tried. Just not good at it. How many people remember Michael Jordan? Remember him? Remember that time he tried to play baseball? And we were like, Mike, no, man, put the bat down. Go back to your lane. That's how I am with cooking. I don't belong in that lane, and that's okay. But I tried, and I Googled a recipe. That was my first mistake. I put in chicken and rice casserole, and one popped up, and it said, quick and easy. And I thought to myself, I went to college, I got this. And that is when Morgan Freeman narrated over my life. She did not, in fact, have this. I got all the ingredients out, I got the recipe out, and I read, step 1, cook chicken. Are you kidding me right now? Like, why would I have a recipe if I knew how to do that? I'm going through my mental Rolodex. Cook chicken, cook chicken, cook chicken. How am I supposed to do that? Like, do I like boil it like a hot dog? Do I bake it like a pie? Do I fry it? I know they fry it at KFC. But then that prompted this whole oil question. Like, what kind do you use? Do you use olive oil or vegetable oil? It's not a vegetable. You wouldn't use vegetable oil, right? Motor oil? That did not sound right. That didn't sound right. And so I'm getting frustrated in our kitchen, and I look at that recipe much like the electronic cashier, and I say to that recipe, if I knew how to cook chicken, what would I need you for? And you know what? It didn't respond. So I ordered pizza. I love that we always have that option. And you know what? It was quick and easy. Because I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. My name is Kelly Levatino. Thank you for listening to my ha-ha-has. Thank you. We like to bookend our show with praise.